Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be talking about Better Man, which is a film based on Robbie Williams' life. I, as a kid, was a massive fan of Robbie Williams. I absolutely adored him. I remember when I was young, my mum used to leave to go to the shops. I used to close or shut the blinds. Used to put on this old CD player that had these great speakers, Robbie Williams' greatest hits, or one of Robbie Williams' albums. Put it on full blast, and used to pretend that I was singing Rock DJ, Let Me Entertain You, all the classics that he had, Angels. And then I used to hear my mum's car outside. I used to turn off the music straight away. I used to put down the mic that was like a hairbrush, and then I used to open the curtains and just wave at her and then return back to the sitting room. So I was a proper massive fan of Robbie Williams. And then I found out this film was coming out. Obviously I have a kid, so I find it very hard to watch films at the cinema. I used to absolutely adore it, but after having her, I just don't have the time. So the streaming services are absolutely brilliant for myself. Seen it on Amazon Prime. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it, and I ended up watching it, and it was fantastic. I fully enjoyed watching Better Man. I just thought it was really honest. It was really funny at times whenever Robbie is getting in to take that. There's these little quips that are like talking about Nigel Martin. He goes, oh, for legal reasons I can't say what he was like, but he was a full-on twat. And I was like, oh, that's proper like Robbie Williams humor that I always enjoyed growing up. And it just went through, it was kind of like a throwback to my own childhood and growing into my kind of teenage adolescence, where I remember Take That being a massive band. I was more of a Robbie fan than a Take That fan. And Robbie Williams releasing Angels, which is 96, 97. And that's when I kind of just ended up listening to him and watching him at Nebworth and all that kind of stuff on the TV, obviously. But I just really enjoyed kind of the career path that it took in Better Man. Really honest, really funny. There's moments where he's talking about kind of his relationship with his dad, which is a constant thread throughout it. How tough it was, how his dad was pushing him, going, oh, you're going to be a star. This is why you're going to be a star, because you have this charisma that only a few have. And his dad absolutely idolized Frank Sinatra. And you can see that in Robbie Williams, because he released a Swing When You're Winning, I think the album's called, based on the old school Rat Pack music. So it just went through all this. So initially you had at the start where his dad's talking to him, you know, they're singing along. And then it goes to whenever he gets a bit older, he's in the club scene. His dad's like a massive club singer, but then his dad turns out to be a terrible person. He just leaves him and then comes back whenever he's famous. And he had this kind of on-off relationship with his dad. And then there's multiple threads in it. Obviously, he goes through how his addiction problems with drugs, which is really insightful. I never knew how much drugs took over and alcohol took over his life, and it seemed like it came through as soon as fame hit. And he kind of had this love-hate relationship with fame, because he understood that he made a lot of money off fame, but also he had a lot of pressure. So his father's like, we've booked Nebworth, it's sold out, it's 3 days, it's going to be the biggest concert ever, it's better than Frank Sinatra. He used to always go back to Frank Sinatra. And then we see Robbie getting very anxious, getting very kind of built up, like the insecurities come out. And he just struggles all the time with this built up pressure of Nebworth, of being this superstar. And he relates back to alcohol, relates back to drugs. And I thought it was an interesting concept, and I don't know why I haven't talked about it. Robbie Williams is a monkey in it. He's just being played as a CGI monkey. And I thought initially, this is going to be absolutely horrendous. This is going to be a joke. I'm not going to be thinking, this is quite an interesting thing. I'm just going to be focusing on the monkey. So whenever I seen the monkey, it took about 10-15 minutes, but then you just adjust. You just go, oh, that is Robbie. And it's funny whenever he's a little kid, because it's a little monkey like in the bath, all that kind of stuff, which is, it's just a strange concept where you have the nan washing him, and he's like, I want to be a superstar. And his nan's like, yeah, no worries, you're going to be a superstar. That's what you're going to be. And as a kid, if it was a real life kid, you'd be like, all right, I understand kind of this, and it's a heartwarming moment. But I couldn't get over the fact that at the start it was a monkey. I was like, what's going on here? It's a CGI monkey. There's no kind of warmth to this. But then as it goes on, and when the nan dies and his relationship was really intense, it was like his mother, like a mother figure for him, and when she dies, it's very hard for him to take, and he kind of slumps into this binge of alcohol and drugs, and it essentially ruins his life for quite a long time, just because he's in this state of grief. But no, I thought this film was absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the musical interludes. It's directed by the same guy who done The Greatest Showman, so you kind of see the caliber of the story arc, the character building, and also it's just fun. It's just a fun film to watch. And if you're a massive fan of Robbie Williams like myself, you've probably watched it, you've probably enjoyed it, and went, oh, I didn't understand how much the drugs were a part of his life, or how he got no money out to take that, or his struggles with his father was, which is really good. And then you can just absolutely enjoy kind of reminiscing about your childhood and having them silly stories of going into the other room and singing your heart out, and then going back in and acting like everything's normal, and then waiting for your mum to go back out so then you could do part 2 of the show. But no, I just really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a fantastic film. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. If it's out of your budget or out of your price range, just wait till it comes down, because all them films either end up being free on streaming sites or else being much lower, especially on Amazon. I've noticed that, say, the $15.99s, they go down to 10 and then 5 and then eventually $3.49, I think it is. But no, fantastic film, really enjoyed it, and it was a big thing for me because I was thinking, I love Robbie Williams, I want to see how this film's done, and it was just great watch, great fun.